Hello and welcome to another reading and writing update. This week, not much happened on the reading front, a lot happened on the writing front. I'm going to be very quick with it because I feel like this is just me saying the same thing over and over again, but really just updates. And again, if you want more frequent updates and maybe with even a lot more detail and better said because I'm better in writing than in person, I guess. But yeah, I have a Patreon with a free membership, so just join there and you'll get all my updates. But this past week, maybe week and a half, couple weeks, I've only been reading Babel. I'm obsessed with it. It's so good, guys. The internet was right about Babel. The internet was right. Babel is the correct choice. Babel is Mother. Babel is the ultimate dark academia novel. I mean, I'm a third of the way through, so maybe I'll be wrong. But just the way that it's framing this obsession with elitism and what the richest societies do in the way that they, have the privilege to spend so much time dedicating to the study of old languages and shit like that. The fact that she places this adoration with dark academia and with academia in general in the context of imperialism, of the fact that you have to be born privileged enough to enjoy such an environment, to enjoy such a context. Beautiful. And there are many layers to Babel. Like I'm so thankful to R.F. Kuang. I have the Poppy War. I might read it after I finish Babel, to be honest. But I will obviously be doing a review of Babel and discussing everything in detail. But if you want more detail, just go to my Patreon. I have a few updates up already, and I discuss this stuff about racism, about misogyny, about just the paradoxical nature of imperialism, because the only way in the book they can keep making what they need, the resource that they need to keep their status and the power, the only way they can keep making this resource is by maintaining their colonies and their conquered lands, uneducated and without any help and without any technology and medicine and progress. Like the only way they can continue to take advantage of this resort is through exploitation and abuse of people, like entire countries of populations of people. And that's just beautiful points are made in that book. And the way that she wrote it, as if it's like a historical manual and with footnotes that are so beautifully satirical in the way that they are written to correct whatever the people in the text are saying, because she's writing the story from like omnipresent narrator point of view, and she basically just takes in each person's perspective as they are, as the people they are, the character that they are in the story. But of course, our perspectives as people are biased to the way that we grew up, to our values, to our ideals. And sometimes we can express opinions or even state facts that are not true or are biased toward those values. So what R.F. Kuang does is when someone says something racist or biased or whatever it is, she puts a little footnote correcting them. Through historical fact. She's basically fact-checking her own characters within the text. Beautiful. I don't know how she came up with that idea, but it works perfectly. It's one of the things I'm enjoying the most about the book is the goddamn footnotes. Can you imagine a writer in a non-fictional context writing a book where the most enjoyable part of the book are the footnotes? Never. Everyone detests footnotes. Not in Babel. Not in Babel. But yeah, I've been writing quite a lot. Like, I don't know where this fire is coming from. I think it's just because I came out of the anxiety crisis and I've been feeling a lot better. And I just love it. Like, what else? There's nothing else. This is the thing, like the epiphany that has slowly been coming to my mind. There's nothing else. Like, I spent years studying for a profession that then I got bored with so quickly. I went to a place with huge salaries and that didn't satisfy me because it's just writing. It's just writing. Writing, being creative, doing all of these beautiful artistic things that we are meant to do as human beings. This is going to be a very hippie update because listen, it's what I'm turning to these days, honestly, because I've been writing a lot. Like, I'm writing mostly short stories right now. I recently finished the first draft for a book, which is going to be a small book, I think, maybe around 200 pages, that kind of stuff. And I'm letting it sit for a little bit. I don't like to start second drafts like immediately after I finish the first one, especially for this kind of stuff. Like, I don't really talk about it, but I have written longer projects before. I've been writing since always. It's just now that I've started to think about the possibility of publishing and trying to make this like my thing, my career. Which I don't think I ever will, to be honest. I don't think there's ever going to come a time when I'm going to be a writer just like that. Like Joanna, like Joe, the writer. But anyway, I worked on Project Cake, which probably you guys already know about. It's a short story about this rabbit hole kind of journey. And this week I figured out the damn ending. And I've been writing the fourth draft, and it's getting to be a little bit different from the previous draft that I had. And right now I'm working on the second part. Like, there's a first part, there's a second part, and potentially there's going to be a third part. I'm not sure yet, but it's just coming together so well in the story that I want to tell and the character that I want to explore. And I'm over the moon about it. Like, I've never had this feeling of whatever happens, I want people to read this and I'm going to do my best to try to publish this. I don't know if anyone can relate, if there are like other fellow writers watching this, if you can relate to this, but it's like, it's not that I think it's perfect or amazing. It's just that I want other people to read it, like to just share these ideas and these thoughts, because I never really write just for entertainment or for fun. I have like a message that I want to pass with the story, like certain ideals or reflecting certain issues in society. This one is really about reflecting issues in society. And I just want to talk about it and be able to share it. Like, I'm happy about something enough that I want to share it. So yeah. And apart from that one, which I kind of figured out the ending. And again, if you want to read a little bit more about this, I have it in my like updates, my written update. But I also started picking back up some old drafts because I write stories all the time. Like, I'm one of those people that gets ideas in her head and then they just won't leave me alone. Like, I'll go to bed and I'll be thinking about them, like writing stories in my head as I fall asleep. And it's sometimes annoying because sometimes I just want to fantasize about cute things to fall asleep. I'm one of those people that has what they now call maladaptive daydreaming, whatever. And sometimes I just have to write them. So I have like a huge collection of like short stories, micro stories, I don't know how they're called, and even longer stuff that I just never picked back up, that I have one or two drafts of and are in a drawer somewhere. And this week I picked some of them back up and I started rewriting on some of them, and it's so much fun. And yeah, I'm just hoping that I am happy enough with any of them to try to publish them, because this is what I feel like it's the right thing for me right now, to try to get some of these stories out there. I finally feel confident enough in what I'm trying to say with these stories that I want to share them, because I've always had that feeling of, who cares? Who cares about what goes on inside your head? And the thing that I've been realizing lately, because this is the year of realizing things, the thing that I've been realizing lately is that it's not that people care or don't care about what goes on in your head is that probably a lot of people relate and have similar things go around their head and just want to be able to feel like they're not alone, or that someone else is experiencing it, or someone else is thinking about it. And stories is a great way of doing it, like sharing stories and sharing these obsessive thoughts that we have is a great way of creating a community and, just sobering people. You are not the only one who has these worries. You are not the only one who constantly thinks about these things. There are other people out there too, and we write stories about them. So yeah, that's what I've been reading and writing. I really want to get back to Near the Wild Heart. I just want to be able to understand and have the grasp of the full story. But yeah, I've been enjoying Babel way too much, and Babel is extremely easy book to read. So yeah, but I will go back to Near the Wild Heart and potentially also continue. I mean, I'm always reading poetry. I don't always mention it, but I'm always kind of reading poetry. And another thing that has to do with writing, but is much more reading, is online publications. Because I read a fair few of them. I mean, again, if any of you are watching and you work for a journal or you love a journal specifically and you think I would like to read their stories, please put it in the comments somewhere because I will read it. I have found great poets and great authors through reading online publications and even printed publications. I don't order anything from outside of Portugal. All of the literary journals and magazines that I own are Portuguese, but I would be down to ordering something if it's if it really captivates me. I would be down to pay the the fees. Not from the US. Let's not stretch that. From Europe. But yeah, I've been reading a lot of stories. There's this one publication that I'm in love with right now. They publish weird ass fiction. And it's one of the ones I submitted my last short story to. But yeah, I think I'll be doing a longer post about it soon because I just love so many of their stories. They have such a fine-tuned lens to what they want in their journal, and they all come out with a specific vibe that I can't put my finger on, but is my vibe. I vibe with it. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you back here eventually, maybe for the Babel review. Bye.